Hello. 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 Good evening, all. Am I audible?
Good evening, sir. Yes, sir.
Good evening, Suresh.
Yes, Sanya, Isvaria. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Chaliye. So today we will continue with the last class. I guess last class we have started with the geography of India with the climatic zones of the world, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So today we'll continue with we'll discuss about the first type of climatic region in the world. Okay. So just give me a minute. Let me, what you can say, download the new JC Leong book, right? So the book which I have given to you last time, the notes which I have given to you. So those notes are not properly visible. So I am sharing you one more book, one more PDF, which is a scanned video. So just give me a second.
Sir, I sent you the
Yes,
PDF
yes, sir.
of the book.
Yes,
It
sir.
was clear.
Right. So I'm sharing you the same thing. Can you please send it again on the group, Anand, so that everybody can see that. So please share it on the group.
Okay, sir. Okay, I will share it. Sir, I have shared it on the
Yes.
group.
Good. So all of you, please download the note, the book, which is it is only 101 page. Anand, is it like some pages have been reduced? Because earlier GC Leong was having around 198 pages. So why it is only 101 pages here?
Actually, it's a proper scan, sir. 2 pages in one time.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So have you all got the message now? Aishwarya? Yes, Ritika?
Yes, I received it.
Yeah. So please download the book. Good evening there. How are you? Can you hear me? Am I audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. After a long time, you have joined the class again. So
Yes,
is
sir.
everything is okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, sure, no problem. So we have started with geography, world geography. We have started with the climatic zone. So today we are going to start with the Today we are going to start with the equatorial climatic zone. Okay.
Okay, sir. Sir, PDF will be downloaded.
Sorry.
PDF will be downloaded.
Okay. I am also getting downloaded. So just give me a minute, so I can share it with you and we can start it.
Okay.
Okay. Have you all read chapter number 14 of the GC Leong? I have asked you to read chapter number 14, that is climate topic from the GC Leong. Any doubts from that topic? Last time I have asked you to read climate topic. How many of you have read chapter number 14? Can you please raise your hand, those who have read chapter number 14? And if you have read, then you must be having some doubts. Yes, only Ritika has read it. Check.
So, what are isobars?
Isobars means actually, as we have seen that on the surface of the earth, different places have different temperature and different pressure system or different pressure, right? So when we draw a line, joining the equal temperature region, these lines are called as isothermal lines, right? Similarly, as we have seen that the pressure is also different in the different places. So when there's what is a pressure is measured, and when same pressure lines, same pressure what you can say the regions are joined with a line, then they are called as isobar lines or isobar lines, right? So isothermal lines and isobar lines. Got it, Ritika?
Okay.
So isobar lines we have seen that in the cyclone, the isobar lines are like outer side there is high pressure and in the center there is low pressure. So the whole circle is that line is called as the isobar lines.
Okay.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Anand, you have raised hand. Any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, can you all see the screen now? Is it visible to you? Ritika, all other students, can you all see the screen now? Now here you
Yes, sir.
can see these
Yes,
are
sir.
Yes, sir.
these are the lines of isobar lines. Like for example, suppose now you can see here it is a circular line. Okay, here you can see it is a circular line. It means what, that in this line there is a similar pressure, and that is why it is called as isobar. Iso means equal and bar means pressure. So the lines joining the equal pressure areas are called as isobar line. So here you can see this is a line which shows around 1000 millibar lines, and here you can see it is 1060 millibar lines, right? So now here you can see this place as this place are having same millibar pressure, like 996 millibar, 996 millibar, 996 millibar. So when these three areas have an equal pressure, then these areas are joined by one line. So this makes what you can say isobar line. So here you can see 1000 millibar. Now here will maybe what you can say 1020 millibar or maybe 1004 millibar. So in this way the isobar lines are drawn. Now here you can see. Okay, can you see this picture? Is it visible now? Now right hand side you can
Yes, sir.
see. The right hand side you can see. Here it is a round shaped what you can say the isobar lines. But here they are in linear lines. Right? So 265, then 260, 255, 250, 245, 740. What you can say this 735 lines. So these are the lines as you have seen. Now here you can see this is 0. This is polar region. So as you move upwards, the temperature is what you can say the here the airline what you can see here you can see that the isobar lines are here. So here it is a low pressure and here it is what you can see the high pressure. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Isobar line. Similar, we have isothermal lines also. Isothermal lines means what? Same the areas which are joining the same temperature area, they are called as isothermal lines. Yes, Anshu, you have raised hand. You want to ask something?
Yes, sir, sir. I have also gone through that. But sir, I have doubt regarding the Westerlies. Uh, वो नहीं समझा सर concept. Westerlies
Westerlies
का
नहीं
थोड़ा
समझते. Okay, westerlies मतलब क्या कि the winds are coming from west to east. So winds are named as westerlies or easterlies or northerly or southerly depending upon from which direction to which direction they are flowing. So if they are what you can see, if they are flowing from west to east, then they are called as westerly. So here you can see on the word pressure zone we have seen pressure belts. So the winds are blowing from subtropical high pressure what you can say high pressure region to equatorial low pressure region, right? So here there is easterlies and westerlies. One second, I will check pressure belts. Okay, can you see this picture now? Chukumari, can you see it now?
No, sir.
Now here you can see the wind is coming from subtropical high pressure region to equatorial low pressure region, right? So if the wind is coming from east to west, then these are called as easterlies. Got it? These are called as easterlies. Now, but here you can see here the wind is going from subtropical high pressure to subpolar low. So here the winds are going from
The
west
screen is not visible, sir.
force due to the Coriolis force. Coriolis, what you can see the
The screen is not visible.
sorry. Okay, is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now here you can see on the surface of the earth there are various pressure belts, and depending on the pressure belts the winds are blowing, right? So the wind which is blowing from subtropical high pressure belt to equatorial low pressure belt, it is coming from what you can see east to west. So that is why they are called as easterlies. Got it? Why they are called as easterlies? Because they are flowing from east to west. But here the wind which is blowing from subtropical high pressure belt to subpolar low pressure belt, which we have already seen that how the winds what you can say blow. So here the wind will be blowing from west to east because of the Coriolis force. They are taking a right direction here, and they are taking what you can say left direction. Here also they are also taking right direction. So, but here they are westerlies and here they are easterlies. So these winds are called as westerly. So subtropical high pressure belt to subpolar low pressure belt, and here subtropical high pressure belt to subpolar low pressure belt, both in the south hemisphere as well as in the north hemisphere, they are called as westerlies, while these are easterlies and westerlies. So it may act as a easterlies or it may act as a westerlies depending upon whether the sun is moving towards north side or south side. But here they are continuously easterlies. So at the polar region they are easterlies and they are easterlies. But here once this from subtropical high pressure belt to equatorial low and subtropical high pressure to equatorial low in both north and south hemisphere, the winds changes their direction season wise. So for some season the winds are easterly and for some season the winds are westerlies. And why it is so, that also we have already discussed. It is because of the shifting of the pressure belt due to the apparent movement of the sun from south to north and north to south. Clear, Anshu? Which are called as easterly, which are called as westerlies? Is it clear? So here what you need to remember that here this means that is subtropical high pressure belt to subpolar low and polar high pressure to subpolar low. These are easterlies, these are westerlies throughout the year. These are westerlies and these are easterlies throughout the year. But here in these two, so what you can say areas from subtropical high pressure belt to subtropical high pressure belt in south to the equatorial low pressure belt. So here the winds changes there, what you can say the direction. So that is why they are called as trade winds also, because the traders earlier they used to use the changing direction of the winds, that is from easterly to westerly and westerly to easterly, for trading purposes. Like they were when they were navigating through the seas, they used to use the what you can say they used to use the this changing direction of the winds to navigate, and that is why they are called as trade winds. Someone mind why they are called as trade winds? Any doubts?
No, sir, it's clear.
Check it. Now, can you all see the screen? Can you all see the GC Leong now? GC Leong book.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So I'll directly go to chapter number 15, that is Equatorial, right? So let's start. So let's start with the equatorial region. So as you have seen that as per the location of the continent or as per the location of the areas, so there are various climatic zones which have been created depending upon the latitudinal location, that where they are located, that at which latitude they are located. So equatorial type of climate is located between 0 to 10 degree north and 0 to 10 degrees south hemisphere in both north and south hemisphere, right? So today we are going to discuss about it. That is equatorial type of climate. So just wait. So chapter number 14, chapter number 13, I have asked you to read it out. Climate is over. Okay. Now here you can see that 0 to 10 degree north and 0 to 10 degree south, we have an equatorial type of climate, right? So now here we can see on the first page, here you can see the red areas, the areas which have been highlighted. Now this area we find what you can say the equatorial type of climate. So equatorial type of climate is found between 0 to 10 degree north and 0 to 10 degree south in both the hemispheres, right? So here we have the equatorial type of what we can say the climate. One second. Hello. हाँ बोला संकेत. झाले ना बरं तो किरण आला असेल त्यांना द्या. Sorry. So here we have found. So we can see that equatorial type of climate are found in the middle of Africa. Can you all see? Now here is very important. You need to understand where the equator is passing through. So here you can see that the equator is passing through the middle of Africa, then the northern part of South America, and middle of what you can say the Southeast Asian region, right? So here in this region, so here we have countries like Indonesia, Malaysia, Borneo, Singapore. These are the countries which are located in the Southeast Asia. So in this area and in the middle of Africa and in the northern part of what you can say the South America, here we have the equatorial type of climate. So this is the location of the equatorial type of climate. So in any whenever we are discussing any type of climate, first what you need to remember, first you need to check it out where that type of climate is distributed. Now here you can see the equatorial type of climate, which is also called as hot and wet climate. Now why it is called as hot and wet climate, that we will discuss later on. So the equatorial, that is hot and wet type of climate, is found between 5 degree and 10 degree north and south of the equator. It is greatest extent is found in the lowlands of Amazon. Amazon means, here you can see, here in the South America, here we have Brazil. So here we have Brazil country, and here we have some Zaire or some of the countries which are located in Africa. So here we have equatorial type of climate. Why it is called as hot and wet? Because we know that here the temperature is high throughout the year, and as we have seen on the equator, the sun rays falls directly throughout the year, and that is why here the temperature is very high. Right? So here you can see. Can you all see the right hand side? There is one what you can say, the bar graph is given here. Like, so there is a graph here. So here you can see this is actually a graph which signifies two things. One is about the amount of rainfall and also about the temperature. So can you see here? So this red line also tells about the how much is the temperature here in this region, and here January, February, March, April, May, June, July, these are the months, and in every month how much amount of the rainfall is there, that is explained in this graph. So here you can see in both these, here there are the graphs given related to two locations of the equatorial climate, one in the north hemisphere, one in the south hemisphere. This is about the Bogota, and again the lower is about the same thing, what you can say, this is about the Bogota as well as Bogota. So it is given two things. Here you can see that the temperature is same throughout the year. So can anybody tell me why the temperature is same throughout the year? Why there is no variation in the temperature? Because these are located on the equator, so there is no diurnal range. Diurnal range means what? Throughout the year the temperature is same, and again the temperature is very high, right? So here you can see the temperature is uniform. So the most outstanding feature of the equatorial type of climate is the great uniformity in the temperature throughout the year. And what is that great uniformity? That throughout the year the temperature is very high, and since temperature is very high, what will happen? We have already seen that suppose if there is a temperature is very high, what will happen then? Can anyone explain me? If every day the temperature is very high, so what will happen in such type of, what you can say, the situation? Yes, Ritika, what will happen if every day the temperature is high? Means every throughout the year there is summer.
Yes, summer.
So what will happen with this situation? Means there are no other seasons apart from summer. Every year, every day, temperature is very high. Unlike in India, we can see that in India,
Evaporation will be more.
the temperature is low. Yes, sir.
Evaporation will be more.
Every day there will be evaporation, very good. And every day there will be creation of convective current. And every day there will be, what you can say, the convective cycles are created. The land gets heated up, the air mass gets, what you can say, lighter. The lighter air mass will move upwards, and there will be rainfall. So here you can see that every month there is rainfall here. So can you see this graph that there is rainfall in each and every month, and of course here in the month of April there is high rainfall, and in the month of November and October there is high rainfall. It's because we can see that the sun moves towards north and south, as we have seen. So there are two equinoxes, like in the month of April and in the month of October and November, the sun is exactly on the equator. And in such situation, what happens in such situation? There is high rainfall during when the sun is exactly on the equator. So during two equinoxes, that is in April and is in October, November, the temperature will be high. But again, here you can see every day there is rainfall, every month there is rainfall. So here there is only one season. And what is that one season? That every day there is high temperature and every day there is a rainfall. So there are no seasons here. Actually, there is only one season. There is no seasonal variation. And that one season is what? A hot and wet season. Understood why it is hot and wet season? Because every day the suns are directly falling on this region. Here the suns are directly falling on this region. Every day the lands get heated up. Every day the lighter air mass moves upwards. And obviously when they move upwards, then what will happen? Every day there will be rainfall. So every day here you can see that around 3 to 4 o'clock afternoon, around 3 to 3 o'clock there is a rainfall. So of course, can anybody tell me? Can you tell me if there is everyday rainfall, what will happen then? If there is everyday rainfall, will you be able to do agriculture? Will you be able to do other economic activities when there is everyday rainfall?
No, sir.
No, sir.
So when there are everyday rainfall in the equatorial type of climate, and obviously we have dense forests here, right? So can you check it out? Here in this region, that is in Amazon, we call Amazon jungle. So in the middle of Africa, we have dense forests. Here also we have dense forests, and here also we have dense forests. So here we have dense and evergreen forest. Evergreen forest means what? So इक्वेटोरियल झोन मध्ये इक्वेटोरियल क्लायमेट मध्ये सदाहरित वने असतात. सदाहरित वने म्हणजे काय? There are evergreen trees because every day there is rainfall, every day the temperature is high, and as we know that high temperature and high rainfall is suitable for the growth of the plant, right? So the plants never shed their leaves, the plants never, what you can say, they stop their growth. And here we have the forest, what you can say, the evergreen dense forest in this equatorial type of climate, right? So the unique feature of the equatorial type of climate is that the temperature is uniform throughout the year. Temperature is every day. There is, what you can say, there is no winter here. So every day there is summer and there is rainfall. So there is no winter. There is cloudiness, heavy precipitation to help the moderate daily temperature, so that even at the equator itself, the climate is not unbearable. So here you can see, this is the reason why the temperature is not high exactly on the equator. The temperature is high above the equator, or not exactly on the equator, because every day there is rainfall, every day the clouds are formed. Since every day the clouds are formed, the temperature is not high as temperature is high in the above range. Got it? So now that is why you can see that here you can find it out. So what type of vegetation? So whenever you are considering any type of climate, what you need to remember? First, you need to remember the location of the climatic zone. Then we need to check it. What is the temperature? Whether the temperature is, what is the difference in the temperature? Here you can see the temperature is high throughout the year. Rainfall, every day there is rainfall, and obviously the temperature and rainfall leads to the vegetation. So here you can see the vegetation is what? Tropical rainforest. So here you can found tropical rainforest, dense forest, and these are called as selvas. So the name, the special term which is used for such type of the tropical rainforest is called as selvas, which are found in the Amazon forest, right? And obviously, because of high temperature, because of high humidity, one of the important characteristics of the equatorial type of climate is that the humidity is very high. And because of this, we can see that there are variety of plants are grown here. So the great variety of vegetation, variety means what? Variety of plants and variety of what you can see the epiphytes. Epiphytes means what? Ki vary. So the plants which can survive on the main plants, these are called as epiphytes. So epiphytes are also found in the forest, right? So epiphytes means what? ज्याला आपण म्हणतो ना वेली, ज्याला आपण म्हणतो की a large plant which is what you can say circulated by the epiphytes, that is the parasitic plants that live on the other plants. They are also very high, which are available here. And here you can see there are distinct layers of the arrangement of the forest. So you can see we have the smaller trees, we also have the other trees, and we also have these trees. And these distinct layers of the forest can also be found. And thick canopy. Canopy means what? Canopy means this forest creates a cover. So the upper part of the forest, they join together and they create a canopy. And because of that canopy, the sun rays cannot reach on the surface of the earth. The sun rays falls directly on the upper part of the plants, and the sun rays do not reach on the surface. And that is the reason why we can see that all plants struggle upwards for sunlight, resulting in a peculiar layer arrangement. So the taller trees attain height of what you can say 150 feet. Their slender trunks pierce skywards with wide spreaded branches at the top, and the smaller trees beneath from the next layer, and the ground is rooted with ferns and herbaceous plants which can tolerate shade, because the trees cut out most of the sunlight or underground is not there. So that you can see in this thick forest, at the surface there is no growth of the plants. And why there is no growth of the plants? Because what you can say, the sun rays cannot reach on the surface, and that is why here we do not find any grass. Grasses are not found on the surface of the the earth here, only we can find the trees, and here we can find the epiphytes. Like here you can see epiphytes means climbing plants which climb on the, what you can say, the shoots, or which you call the trunk of the larger plants. So this is the features of the vegetation of the equatorial, right? So multiple species are found, and because of the multiple species are found, it is very difficult to, what you can say, do lumbering, or what you can say, wood cutting here, because these trees are very heavy, and that is the reason the trees are not cut down by the people who are living in these areas. And if the trees are cut, then obviously there is no regrowth. Why there is no regrowth? Because already the plants have consumed all the nutrients which are available in the soil of this equatorial forest, and because of this, the equatorial forest or equatorial region, the soil is not rich. Soil is, what you can say, already whatever the nutrients are available in these soils, they are absorbed by the equatorial forest. And that is why once the trees are cut in the equatorial forest, it is very difficult for the regrowth of the plant in this equatorial type of forest. So but then obviously the people who are living in this dense jungles, the economic style, or what you can say, the economic activity is what? Obviously hunting and gathering, right? We can see that in this forest, the plants, along with plants, the variety of animals are also found. So what type of animals are found in these jungles? Obviously the animals which can live in the, what you can say, in the canopies of the trees, right? So ऐसे animals यहाँ पर पाए जाते हैं जो इन पेड़ों के जो टहनी है उसके ऊपर रह सकते हैं. लाईक म्हणजे झाडाच्या ह्याच्यावर, म्हणजे झाडाच्या बुंद्यावर किंवा झाडाच्या म्हणजे फांद्यावर राहणारे जे animals आहेत. So animals like monkeys, squirrels, bats, such type of animals which can survive and live on the branches of the trees, these are found here. Here we do not find the large animals like elephant or giraffe or lions or tigers are not found in these types of, what you can say, in the forest, because these large animals, it becomes very difficult for them to roam in such type of dense forest. So maximum animals like variety of monkeys, variety of, what you can say, the variety of chimpanzees, then squirrels, then what you can say, the bats, such type of animals are found. And obviously there is great variety of animals as well, but large animals are not found in this dense forest, right? So that is why we can see the people who are living in this equatorial type of climate, the important economic activity in this is hunting, gathering, and what you can say, the zooming cultivation. Zoom means what? They do some shifting agriculture. Shifting agriculture means what? Keep primary agriculture again, because what happens, once an area is cleared for agriculture, then once the crop is grown in that area, then obviously second crop cannot be grown in that zone, because obviously because of the lack of the fertility, that soil cannot, or that agricultural land cannot give a second crop. And that is why the farmers or the people who are living in this area, once they take a crop in one particular area, they leave that area and they move on to the next location. And that is why here we can find the shifting type of cultivation, or which is called as zoom cultivation. So zoom cultivation of agriculture is found in equatorial type of climate. Fine. So this is the, what you can say, the important characteristics of the equatorial type of climate. Then obviously the people who are living in this equatorial type of climate, they are tribals. Tribal means they are not economically well developed. There is no industrialization. Agriculture is also not well developed. So maximum population who are living in this Amazon jungle, the people who are living in this Indonesia, Malaysia, or African jungles, they are the tribal people. But again, of course, in Indonesia, Malaysia, nowadays there is economic development in Indonesia, Malaysia. These people are trying to grow the crops like rubber. They are trying to grow the crops like coffee. And here we can see in this zone, because this zone is suitable for the cocoa cultivation. So in this Western Africa, in this country, here there is a cultivation of the cocoa, and this cocoa is exported from this region to European region, and there is formation of chocolate. So rubber, then coffee, then sugarcane and cocoa, these are the crops which have been introduced by the older world to this newer world recently. And to certain extent now the economic development of this zone, that is Indonesia, Malaysia and Singapore, is increased, because now these people are utilizing the climatic condition in their favor by cultivating rubber, sugarcane, or coffee, as well as what you can say the tea. They're growing in this zone so that their economic development is going on. So here that is what is explained here. So what are the factors affecting the development of the equatorial regions? That is obviously the high temperature and high humidity leads to what we can say more diseases here. So the average lifespan of the people who are living in this equatorial type of climate is very low. Average lifespan is only around 35 to 40 because of the humid condition. So the spread of the diseases like dengue, chikungunya, malaria, or even what we can say the coronavirus, such type of diseases can spread very what we can say fast here. So because of this humid condition, the people cannot survive for a larger what you can say the life, and that is why the people who are living here, they are having low lifespan. At the same time, you can see that because of the high humid condition, the people get what you can say exhausted mentally and physically very early. Like, so if they work for only around 4 to 5 hours, then obviously they get exhausted, and that is why the economic development in this region is not very good. So equatorial climate and health is one of the important limiting factor for the economic development of this region. Second is about the presence of bacteria and insects that I have already discussed to you. Even plants as well as the animals or even human beings cannot survive in such type of prevalence of bacteria and insects. Then obviously the dense forest hinder the development and maintenance. Then rapid deterioration of the tropical soils. As I have already told you that because of the high utilization of the soils by the dense forest, there is rapid deterioration of the tropical soils. That is what we can see, and that is why there is no room for economic development in the equatorial type of climate. So these are the difficulties. That is what is explained here. So difficulties in lumbering and livestock farming because of the variety of species, because of the dense forest. Even the people cannot practice the lumbering. Lumbering means what? They cannot cut the trees and they cannot sell it because economically it is very difficult to sort out the trees in this region. That is what is explained here, right? So what you need to remember about the equatorial type of climate, that here you can see that sese flies are found in this region. Sese flies which can bite the animals, and these animals dies at early what you can say the age, and obviously agriculture is also not possible, lumbering is also not possible, livestock farming is also not possible, and that is why maximum population which are located in this equatorial type of climate, they are having what we can say the tribal life, right? So what you need to remember about this equatorial type of climate is that where these are located, the latitudinal location, that is between 0 to 10 degree latitude, and because they are located between 0 to 10 degree latitude, there is high temperature throughout the year, high rainfall throughout the year, high humidity throughout the year, and because of this situation, there is evergreen forest, dense forest, and because of this evergreen forest and dense forest, and everyday rainfall and every day the temperature is very high, the economic development is not as developed in the other parts of the country. Fine. So any doubts about the equatorial type of climate I discussed to you? You have to go and read the whole chapter today. Read the whole chapter, and if you have any doubts about the equatorial type of climate, then you can ask me tomorrow. So what you need to check it out? First thing, you have to check this map, where location, and here in these two graphs, you will come to know what is the temperature and rainfall throughout the year. Here it is the forest types. Here they have given the examples and pictures, and here also they have told that what is the economic activity of the people in Singapore, and here they have given the structure of the forest in the equatorial type of climate. And here there is one more location, that is Bombay. Bombay is of the monsoon type of climate, but again the Bombay also shows some time what you can say the equatorial type of climate. That is why Bombay is what you can say mentioned here. But anyways, here you can see that you need to remember all this information in the equatorial type of climate, right? So if you have any doubts, you can ask me. It's, only 1 minute is left. The meeting will be ended here. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Any doubts about the equatorial type of climate?
Yes, sir.
Yasmin, समझ में आ गया? रितिका?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है.
Yes, sir.
समरी?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
ठीक है.